I'm back with the third video of the video series on light, reflection and refraction class 10th science. And in this video, our agenda is to learn about the mirror equation, which is a very important topic. Not just that, we will also talk about magnification of spherical mirrors and numericals, the trickiest part in physics. A lot of children find difficult to solve numericals. So watch this entire video, because towards the end of this video we are also going to solve a lot of numericals which will help you to understand how to approach numerical solving. So are we all ready to learn? Let's get started. So now that we have understood the image formation by concave mirror and convex mirror, it is time to talk about the sign convention which we follow for reflection by spherical mirrors, because there is a specific convention which has to be followed. That is how it is since years, right? So what is that convention which we follow when we deal with ray diagrams depicting the image formation? The first convention is that all distances are measured from the pole. That means we consider the pole of the mirror as the origin. Next is object is always placed to the left of the mirror. Distance towards right of the pole are taken as positive. That's because, as I mentioned, pole is like your origin. So anything on the right hand side of the origin are positive, and anything towards the left hand side of the origin are negative. Distances perpendicular and above principal axis are taken positive. That means whenever an image is formed erect, it is perpendicular to the principal axis and it is above the principal axis. So it is taken as positive. Distances perpendicular and below the principal axis are taken as negative. So that means this pole becomes your origin. So if you are talking about anything here or any distance here, that is positive because it is towards the right of the pole. You are talking about any distance towards the left hand side, that would be negative. You are talking about any distance above the principal axis, that would be positive. You are talking about any distance below the principal axis, that would be negative. Right? So these are some of the sign conventions which we will follow. Let us now talk about mirror equation. What is mirror equation? It is an equation which relates image distance with object distance and focal length. That means as you have seen before also, that as the distance of the object changes, the position of the image also changes, right? So that means there has to be a relationship between the image distance, object distance and the focal length. So as the focal length of the focal length of the mirror changes, or the distance of the object changes, your image will also change its position. So this is the relationship which connects all these three. Now, as a matter of convention, we denote image distance by V, object distance by U and focal length as F, right? So what is my mirror equation? Mirror equation goes something like this. It says that 1 by U plus 1 by V is equal to 1 by F. So this is the mirror equation which relates the image distance with object distance and focal length. Now let us try to prove this mirror equation mathematically. How did we get this mirror equation? So let us consider a concave mirror here, and let us consider any object. Let us suppose we have any arbitrary position we have considered for now. Let us suppose we have some object AB. Now let us try to plot the ray diagram and try to plot its image. So let us suppose this is a ray which goes parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it will pass through the principal focus. There is another ray which passes through the center of curvature, and after reflection, it goes back along the same path. Let us suppose I apply another rule. It falls obliquely towards the pole, and therefore it goes back obliquely as well. So all these three rays, they meet up at this point, and therefore we get a real inverted image here. So this B dash A dash is a real and inverted image which we get. So now if we look at this diagram and if we consider these triangles, Now first of all, let me name things here. This is A, this is B. Let me call this as M, and this is already A dash B dash F and triangle MPF. So this is MPF, this triangle, and this is A dash B dash F. So if you compare these two triangles, you have vertically opposite angles. You have this as 90 degree and these as 90 degree. So we can say that since all the angles of these two triangles are similar, so you can say that triangles A dash B dash F and triangles A MPF are similar triangles. Now by property of similar triangles, we can say that B dash A dash divided by PM, that means B dash A dash divided by PM will be equal to B dash F divided by FP. You can draw these two triangles separately. It is somewhat like this. This is B dash, this is A dash, this is F, this is M, and this is P. So you can say that B dash A dash by MP or PM is equal to B dash F divided by FP. That is by property of similar triangles, right? So this we can write it as B dash A dash divided by PM. Now what is PM? PM is nothing but AB. If you look at this diagram, the length AB is same as PM. So you can write it as B dash A dash divided by AB is equal to B dash F divided by FP. So let me call this equation as equation 1, right? Now looking at this diagram, we can say that the angle, this angle and this angle will remain the same. Here I have not drawn it very nicely. I mean the oblique angle with the pole will be equal to this angle with which it is getting reflected. That means if this angle is angle 1, this angle is angle 2, then angle 1 is equal to angle 2. So therefore we can say that triangles ABP. So ABP will be similar to triangle A dash B dash P. So here also let me draw these two triangles separately. Let us suppose this is triangle ABP. This is my angle 1. So this will make an angle with P. And there is another triangle like this. And this is B dash, this is A dash, and this is angle 2, right? This is how I have drawn it separately. So if you compare these two triangles and these two angles are similar, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree, so these angles will also be equal. So by AAA similarity, these two triangles will also be similar. Therefore by property of similarity in this case also, we can say that AB divided by B dash A dash is equal to PB divided by PB dash. So let me call this equation as equation 2. So if you compare equation 1 and equation 2, you see that the right hand side has got similar values, right? So we can say that from equation 1 and equation 2, we can say B dash F divided by FP is equal to PB dash divided by PB. Now from this we can see, see that if you look at this figure, you can see that B dash F. What is B dash F? This is B dash F. What is B dash F? It is nothing but PB dash minus PF, right? We can say that since B dash F is equal to PB dash minus PF. So if we substitute this value, we get PB dash minus PF divided by PF is equal to PB dash divided by PB. Right? Now if you look at the figure, what is my object distance? Object distance is the distance at which the object is located. The object is located at this distance. So the distance PB is the object distance. Image is formed at B dash. So the distance PB dash is the image distance. So the object distance is PB which is denoted by u, and what would be the sign? The sign would be negative because it is towards the left hand side of the pole. What would be the image distance? Now what is the image distance? The image distance, as I mentioned, is PB dash, which is denoted by V with a negative sign, because as per the sign convention rules, both U and V are on the left hand side of the pole, right? And what is PF? PF is nothing but the focal length, which is F. That is also negative because it also falls on the left hand side of the pole. Now putting these values in this equation, we get minus V plus F divided by minus F is equal to minus V by minus U. So this becomes V minus F divided by F is equal to V by U. So we get V by F minus 1 is equal to V by U. Now dividing this entire equation by V. So dividing the entire equation by V on both left hand side and right hand side. What do we get? We get 1 by F minus 1 by V is equal to 1 by U. Or we can write it as 1 by U plus 1 by V is equal to 1 by F. So this equation relates the image distance, object distance and the focal length of the mirror. Now these derivations might not be very important from your examination point of view, but I derived it just to make you understand that how did we get these expressions, right? Because it doesn't make any point to memorize things without knowing its origin. Okay, so now we have shown the mirror equation for concave mirrors. Now let us have a comparison of the mirror equation for concave mirror and convex mirror. However, the mirror equation which I mentioned just now is a generalized mirror equation which will hold true for both concave and convex mirror, provided you consider the sign convention while putting values for U, V and F, right? But now I'll show you, if for concave mirror you wrote 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F, considering sign convention, what will be the mirror equation for a convex mirror? What will happen in case of a convex mirror? If I assume the object to be some object, say AB, how would the ray diagram look like? Any ray of light parallel to principal axis after reflection will appear to pass through this principal focus. Another ray of light which falls obliquely to pole gets reflected obliquely. So these two rays meet virtually at some point like this. So an image A dash B dash is formed. So in this case, where is my focal length? My focal length is PF. So in this case, PF is equal to F positive. In this case, what is my image distance? That is PB. So in this case, PB is equal to U in negative because it is on the left side of the pole. What about the image distance? It is PB dash, which is V positive, right? In concave mirror, U, V, F, everything was negative. But in case of convex mirror, here you see that image and focal length, they are on the right hand side of pole, so they are positive. So if you put these values in the equation in our previous slide, that is, if you put all these values in this equation which I had mentioned, let me call this equation as equation A, then what happens? So equation A becomes, if you put these values in equation A, it becomes V minus F divided by F is equal to plus V divided by minus U. So when you solve this and then again you get V by F minus 1 is equal to minus V by U. So dividing throughout by V, you get 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. So considering the sign convention for a convex mirror, you see that the mirror equation carries a negative sign with U. However, while solving problems, do not confuse yourself with different formula. You consider this equation as the generalized equation for mirror equation. Doesn't matter whether the mirror is a concave or convex mirror, but while putting the values of u, v and f, you incorporate sign convention. That means if it is a concave mirror, take V as negative. If it is a convex mirror, take V as positive, and so on. You will understand that clearly when we will go ahead and solve some problems as well. So now we will talk about magnification of a spherical mirror. So this magnification is the parameter which will tell us what would be the size of the image. That means whether the image will be enlarged or the image will be diminished, or it will be of the same size. If it is bigger, how much bigger it will be. So it is a measure of the size of the image. So it is a measure of how large or how small an image is with respect to the object, right? So how do I define or how do I express magnification? So magnification is denoted by a small m, and it is defined as the size of the image by size of the object. So h dash denotes the size of the image and h denotes the size of the object. Now let us try to look at the magnification in case of a concave mirror. Let us suppose this is a concave mirror. Now what happens in case of a concave mirror? What kind of image do we normally get in case of a concave mirror? Okay, let us try to find out magnification in case of concave mirror. In a concave mirror, your image would be A dash B dash divided by AB. So this becomes, in a concave mirror, most of the times you get real and inverted images. That means your magnification is most of the times negative, because h dash is negative. It is an inverted image, so h dash will be negative. So that means it is A dash B dash divided by AB. If A dash B dash is the size of the image and AB is the size of the object. Now A dash B dash, looking at the figure which we have plotted in the last slide, we saw that A dash B dash by AB is equal to PB dash divided by PB, right, from the property of similarity of triangles. So I am making use of the same equations. So we can write it as minus PB dash divided by PB. What was PB dash? It was nothing but minus V. For a concave mirror, what was PB? It was nothing but minus U. So this magnification becomes equal to minus V by U. So we can define magnification in two ways, that is height of the image by height of the object, and we can also write it as image distance divided by object distance. Similarly, let us look at magnification for a convex mirror. For a convex mirror, since image formed is virtual and erect, so this will be h dash by h. So that means this will remain as A dash B dash divided by AB. So this will become PB dash divided by PB. Now in case of a convex mirror, PB dash is V, but it is plus V, and PB is U with a minus U. So in this case also we get magnification is equal to minus V by U. So we can define magnification as ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object, or it can be defined as the ratio of the image distance to the object distance. So this was all about our discussion on spherical mirrors. So what all did we study? We saw the different types of spherical mirrors. How do they form images? How do the location or the nature of the image changes with the object distance or with the focal length? We talked about the mirror equation, and we also talked about the magnification of the spherical mirrors. All this, let us try to solve some problems. The problem says that a convex mirror has its radius of curvature is equal to 20 centimeters. Find the position of the image of an object placed at a distance of 12 centimeters from the mirror. So let us roughly draw a diagram. This is my convex mirror. Convex means the outside of the spherical surface is silvered, right? So you have an object placed in front of this mirror. The radius of curvature, that is capital R, is given as 20 centimeters. So what would be the radius of curvature of this mirror? It would be somewhere here, right? So it is on the right hand side, so it will be positive. Find the position of the image of an object placed at a distance of 12 centimeters from the mirror. Now object is always placed on the left hand side of the mirror, right? And all distances will be measured from pole. So that means this is my object distance u, and the object distance is 12 centimeters. Since it is on the left hand side of the pole, so it would be negative. So we have to find out the position of the image. That means we will have to calculate the value of v. So we will make use of mirror equation. So for mirror equation, we want u, v and f. Now we know a relationship between focal length and radius of curvature. What is that relationship? Radius of curvature is twice the focal length. So we can say that focal length will be equal to r by 2, that is 20 by 2, which is equal to plus 10 centimeters. Now we will make use of mirror equation. So as per the mirror equation, 1 by u plus 1 by v is equal to 1 by f. So now let us put the values of u and f in this equation so that we can calculate the value of v. So we get 1 by 10 minus 1 by minus 12. So this is equal to 1 by 10 plus 1 by 12. So this comes out to be 11 by 60, or we can say v is equal to 60 by 11 centimeters. So the value of v comes out to be positive. That means the image is formed somewhere here. That means somewhere on the right hand side of the pole. Okay, so let us look at the next problem. It says that a small candle 2.5 centimeter in size is placed at 27 centimeters in front of a concave mirror of radius of curvature 36 centimeters. That means you have a concave mirror somewhat like this. You have a small candle. The height of the candle is given as 2.5 centimeters. That means height of the object is 2.5 centimeters. Now since it is above the principal axis, so this would be positive. And it is placed at 27 centimeters in front of the concave mirror. That means the object distance is 27 centimeters. It is on the left hand side of the pole. Therefore it is negative. The radius of curvature is given as 36 centimeters. So the radius of curvature for this sphere will also fall on this side. So this would be negative, right? So we have to calculate at what distance from the mirror should a screen be placed in order to obtain a sharp image. So where should you place the screen so that you get a sharp image? You should calculate the distance at which the image will be formed, so that you can place the screen at that location itself. That means you have to calculate the value of v, and you have to also tell about the nature and size of the image. So let us first try to calculate v using the mirror equation. Now using mirror equation, we know that 1 by u plus 1 by v is equal to 1 by f. Now how do we calculate f? F is nothing but r divided by 2. So from that we can say that f is nothing but minus 18 centimeters. So we will put that value in this expression. So we get 1 by v is equal to 1 by f minus 1 by u. So that is equal to 1 by minus 18 minus 1 by minus 27. So from this we get v is equal to minus 54 centimeters. So what does it say? It says that the image will be formed at a distance of 54 centimeters from the mirror, and the sign is negative. That means the image will be formed somewhere here, right? This would be my image. Now it doesn't tell anything about whether the image will be erect, virtual, or how will it be. So for nature and size of the image, in order to know the nature of the image and size of the image, let us try to calculate the magnification in this case. What is magnification? Magnification can be calculated as the ratio of image distance by object distance, right? So in this case, what is my image distance? It is minus 54. What is my object distance? It is minus 27. So the magnification comes out to be minus 2. Also, we know that magnification can be defined as the height of the image by height of the object. Now magnification is minus 2, Height of image we do not know, and height of the object is given as 2.5 centimeters. So from this we can say h dash is equal to minus 5 centimeters. So from this what can we tell about the nature of the image? Since h dash is negative, so we can say that the image is inverted. Since it is 5 centimeters, so it is magnified or it is enlarged. Now since the image is inverted, so it has to be a real image. That means how would be the image? This will not be the image. The image will be somewhat like this. It will be enlarged, it would be inverted and real, right? So we calculated the nature, size and position of the image. Let us now look at the third problem. It says a concave mirror produces 3 times magnified or enlarged real image of an object placed at 10 centimeters in front of it. Where is the image located? That means the magnification is given as 3 because it produces 3 times enlarged image. That means height of the image by height of the object is equal to 3. That is how we define magnification. Height of image by height of object, that is given as 3. We have to calculate the image distance. The object distance is given as 10 centimeters. Now object is always placed on left hand side of the pole, so it would be negative, right? So now from definition of magnification, we can say that magnification is equal to the image distance divided by the object distance. Now here it says that it produces a real image. That means the real image is always inverted, so your magnification should be negative because h dash will be negative, right? So this magnification becomes minus 3. So now we know that magnification is equal to minus v by u. So we can write magnification as minus 3. This becomes minus v divided by u is minus 10. So from this we can say that v comes out to be minus 30 centimeters. That means the image will be formed at a distance of 30 centimeters from the pole, and it will be formed towards the left hand side of the pole, right? So please take care that put sign convention everywhere consistently. See here it talked about real image, so you should put the magnification as negative because it talked about real image always means an inverted image. Virtual image would mean a direct image, so in that case we will put magnification as positive. Let us look at the fourth problem. It says an object of length 2.5 centimeters is placed at a distance of 1.5 f from a concave mirror, where f is the magnitude of the focal length of the mirror. Find the length and nature of the image. So in this case, let us assume that you have a mirror like this, a concave mirror. Length of the object, that is height of the object, is given as 2.5 centimeters. Distance of the image u is given as 1.5 f. Now since the object is placed on left hand side, so it would be negative. Focal length of the mirror is f. Find the length and nature of the image. So we have to calculate h dash, and also we have to calculate the nature of the image. So for that we will also have to calculate v. So let us make use of mirror equation. So from mirror equation, 1 by u plus 1 by v is equal to 1 by f. So what is u? It is minus 1.5 f plus 1 by v is equal to 1 by f. Now what would be the value of focal length here? Focus will also be on the left hand side, so this will also be minus f. So from this we can say 1 by v is equal to 1 by minus f plus 1 by 1.5 f. So this becomes minus 0.5 by 1.5 f. So from this we can say v is equal to minus 3f. So this is the value for image distance, right? Now using this image distance, we can calculate magnification, which is defined as minus v by u. So magnification will be equal to minus 3f divided by u is minus 1.5f. So this minus minus will get cancelled. So this will get cancelled. We get minus 2f and f will also get cancelled. So magnification is minus 2. So once I know the magnification and the height of the object, I can calculate the height of the image. Magnification is defined as height of image by height of object. So I can calculate height of image as magnification into height of object. So what was the magnification calculated? It is minus 2. And what is the height of the object? It is 2.5 centimeters. So this will be minus 2 into 2.5 centimeters, which is minus 5 centimeters. So we calculated the size of the object. Find the length of the object. Length we have calculated. And what would be the nature of the image? Nature would be inverted. So if it is inverted, that means it is real. And the size is enlarged. So the nature of the image is real, inverted and enlarged. And the size of the image is 5 centimeters. Let us look at the last problem of this topic. It says we wish to obtain an erect image of an object using a concave mirror of focal length 15 centimeters. Okay. What should be the range of distance of the object from the mirror? I mean, for concave mirror, you would have seen we plotted for different object distances, right? So we can get real and inverted images. We can also get virtual and erect images. But what did we see? We saw that when the object was placed very close to the concave mirror, that means when the object was placed between the pole and principal focus, if this is the pole and this is the principal focus, only when the object was placed between pole and principal focus, we got a virtual and erect image, because in that case something like this happened, and therefore these two rays met at this point, and so we got a virtual and erect image. So for a virtual image, the object should be placed between principal focus and the pole. That should be the range of distance, right? Is the image larger or smaller than the object? The image is larger than the object. Image is larger than object. Draw a ray diagram to show the image formation in this case. So that I have already drawn here, right? This line was drawn by mistake. Please try to plot all the ray diagrams yourselves so that you can get an idea that how and where exactly the image is getting formed.
So children, how did you like this video? Did you find it useful? If yes, do not forget to share it with your friends so that they can also understand this lesson like never before. And I will meet you all very soon with a new topic, with a new video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.